Air travel is known as one of the safest ways to move from one part of the world to another, but in 2024, the skies turned darker than ever. Several tragic air disasters shook the global aviation industry and reminded the world how quickly a routine flight can turn into a nightmare. This year became one of the deadliest in recent aviation history, as hundreds of lives were lost in just a few horrifying moments. These incidents not only shocked passengers and families, but also raised serious questions about modern aviation safety and the systems we depend on. The first major tragedy struck when a passenger jet collided on a runway due to a critical miscommunication between air traffic control and the pilots. Everything appeared normal: passengers boarding, engines warming, and flight crew preparing for takeoff. But in the span of just a few seconds, one small misunderstanding turned into a fatal disaster. Two aircraft ended up on the same runway, and the impact resulted in a fireball that could be seen for miles. The crash became a painful reminder that even a tiny human error can lead to massive loss. Soon after, another disaster unfolded in what was supposed to be an ordinary international flight. Passengers had settled into their seats, expecting a calm journey. But mid-air, the aircraft experienced a sudden technical failure that the pilots could not recover from. The alarms filled the cockpit, oxygen masks dropped, and panic spread among passengers. Despite the pilots' desperate attempts to stabilize the aircraft, it plunged toward the ground within minutes. The crash killed nearly everyone on board and left investigators scrambling to understand what caused such a catastrophic malfunction. In another heartbreaking event, a regional airline operating a smaller aircraft faced a terrible fate. These flights often serve remote areas and use older planes with limited maintenance resources. On this tragic day, an engine problem during landing caused the aircraft to skid off the runway and break apart. Local communities were devastated as families lost loved ones, and the tragedy highlighted the vulnerabilities of small carriers that struggle with safety standards and financial limitations. The year's final major disaster involved an aircraft attempting to land in difficult conditions. As the plane approached the runway, the landing gear failed to deploy. The pilots tried desperately to control the descent, but the aircraft hit the ground with tremendous force. It skidded across the runway, sparks flying, before bursting into flames. Passengers fought for survival as thick smoke filled the cabin and rescue teams rushed to save as many lives as possible. Though a few people miraculously survived, the event became one of the most horrifying crashes of the year. These crashes shook the world and exposed the harsh reality of aviation. Even with advanced technology, rigorous training, and strict safety rules, disasters can still happen. Whether caused by human error, mechanical failure, poor maintenance, or extreme weather, each tragedy served as a warning to the industry. They reminded us that behind every flight number are real people, families, dreams, and lives that can be changed forever in a single moment.